Hi there, Tony here. Have you ever had an issue with your laptop charger and simply could not afford a new expensive one that's like from original manufacturer, and you simply don't trust those that are created in China for like 1/5 of the price? Did you know that actually most of the time the issue with the power adapter is not in the adapter itself, it's actually with the cord. And you may experience some issues like you try to plug it and then you have to wiggle it a little bit till it actually starts. So those are kind of issues that actually is this fellow the responsible. So the charger is absolutely fine. What you need to do is replace the cord. Now, what some people are doing is they are cutting the wire somewhere here and they are making joints in the middle. What we are doing is we are actually opening the entire power supply and replacing the whole cord. So we are buying like these kind of cords and we are replacing them entirely from the board itself. As you can imagine, they are not screwed, so there is no screws here that can actually use to open that. Those are really glued, so there are two halves and they are glued together. So some of the symptoms that you may be having, that you know that for sure that issue with the cord, is exactly when you plug it in the laptop or the monitor or something like that, and you see that it seems like it's not making contact. So you have to, like when you plug it, have to wiggle it a little bit and then magic happens. Then you let it go and then the device shuts down. So what we're going to do today is show you how in just under $2 to US, you'll be able to fix that issue, having an original power supply again, making sure that you not have any issues and really destroy your laptop, and you'll do it for $2. But before we do so, make sure to subscribe to our channels for more videos like this, reviews and unboxings. And make sure also to hit the like button. Every button that is hit, every like button that you hit really supports me and the channel. So we really appreciate your help here. So let's get down to business. What are you going to need? So you need a new power supply wire. You need to be very sure that you're buying the one with the correct socket. So really double check and make sure that you're buying the good jack. Otherwise you will not be able to fit it in the correctly. You need a knife. That's one that's very special for us. We call it Ferramonti. We use it only for these kind of activities. You need a multimeter because you need to measure if everything is not going correctly before you measure the laptop. You need some tape. You may need a paper clip. Hammer is one of the main characters here. You need some soldering, some flux, and you also need a iron. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to the lab and really start opening this baby up. Right, so we are already in the lab, and what we're going to first need to do is crack this baby open. So there are actually two techniques that we are using. So one is more elegant and the other one is the one that I'm actually going to show you. So the first one is you take some of gasoline, like the car gasoline, and you just with a ear tip, you just put some here, and after a couple of seconds, like 1 minute or so, it will start to remove the epoxy glue. So it will be like very easy to open and far more elegant. What I'm going to show you now is the other method. So you just go here, you remove the label, no longer needed. A warning, if you're on headphones, beware. So you put the knife where the middle it is, and then you start smashing with the hammer. You see how it started to crack? So that's the result that we want to achieve. And you do that on the other side. Oops. So, such things happen. You see, you have a perfect disassembly of the two parts. You no longer require Ferramonti and the hammer. We can put them aside. So we return back. Okay. Power jack is causing some issues. Stubborn power supply. Right. Okay, you see here you have a white wired and a black one. Usually on the original manufactured ones it will be like that. On the others, like on the one that we are having red and white. So usually the white one is the plus and the minus is the black one. So what we need to do now is unsolder that. We have our iron. We're going to use some flux. So it will start to melt shortly. Okay, started to melt. So now we need to remove the old one. Okay. And now we need to remove also the black one. Same process. Okay. Okay. I'm being a little bit nervous here. Every time that this happens, if I'm on camera, everything's fine. But if I do it, if I'm not on camera, everything's fine. So you see here, we have two holes. What we now need to do is clean them. And for that, I'm going to use the wick. So this is actually a copper wick, and copper wick is natural. It really sticks to the iron, to the solder. So you do it like that. Don't breathe that. That will kill your teeth. Okay. So we remove this side. To remove this side here. Okay. Okay. Good enough. Okay. So now we have far better holes. Okay. Okay, so what we now have to do is, you see on the inside you have volt and ground. See? Volt and ground. It's like here. Volt, and you have GND on the inside. Alright, so our battery actually died, and so what I'm going to show you is, we don't know which is actually ground and which is plus side. So what I'm going to do is have one end of the multimeter stuck on the outside, which is the ground. Now just check which wire is, so it's not the red, it should be the light one. Okay, so you see, white one means it's short to ground. That actually means that that's our outside. So this is what we need to solder on the ground. So what we do, we open here, we go to the ground side, and the red one will be on the black side. Some a little bit adjustment. Okay. Right, this is how we need to do it. And now we take our solder, which is the one here, and we're going to solder those wires. So that's the best way that we can fix power supplies. Okay. Now people see my poor soldering skills. Right, okay. So I may have overdone it, so I just need to clean up that a little bit before I check what's happening. Okay, using the wick. So I'll just remove some of the solder. Okay, so I'm just checking. Okay, so no, it's fine. It's fine. I was thinking like, do I had hit a capacitor or some other SMD? No, it's fine. Okay, now that's a good joint. Not that good, but I've not done it from some time now. So what we need to do now is remove the excess wires. So I'll just cut them. Remember, they should not be somewhere near the circuit. It's always good to have something for you to clean it up. And now we need to actually test, have we done it correct? Okay, other side. No, this side. What I'm doing? Okay. Okay, so you put the wires in. Sometimes you may have to cut here a little bit if it's not fitting okay. But this time I think it will be quite good. Okay. Some push, of course. Okay. All right. Okay, but what we're not going to do now is directly try to put it on the computer or the monitor or something. In order for us to be sure, we need to first measure if we have the correct voltage with the correct ground and voltage layout. So this particular power supply is from Acer laptop, and that should measure us 19 volts. So what I need to do is run it. Okay, so it's not recommended actually for you to hold it, because if something blows up, it's better for it not to be in your hand. Okay, so the first good sign is that we have the LED blinking. What we need to now measure is the current. So I'm going to set it for 20 volts, and I'm going to not the current, sorry, I'm going to measure the voltage. Now, because my probes are too big, this is where the paper clip comes in. And let me pick it up. So I'm taking my clip and I'm going to put it inside so it touches the wires inside. And so for me, the blue one is the ground and the red one is the plus side. And you see on the multimeter we have 19 volts 19.5 volts, but that's because it's not under volt, so it may be a little bit different. Okay, the final thing that you want to do, let's unplug it. It's not good for you to touch anything inside, because this means that the capacitors are still being charged. So if I touch something wrong inside, I may have like a small electroshock inside, so don't do that. So the final thing that we're going to do actually is put some tape around that, and finally we're going to glue it. There is a couple of ways that you can do it. The easiest one that you can do is like some sort of instant glue that you can find in every hardware shop. Alternative to that, something that we're using is called chloroform. I mean, this is something that's used in horror movies where you adopt somebody, but chloroform actually has a very good effect on plastic, like this one exactly. So we found out that chloroform actually glues that, and it glues them extremely good. So that's what we are using. But if it's like from average user, I highly recommend for you to take like an instant glue and you'll be completely fine. Okay, so the final test that we're going to do, we're going to back to the studio and we're going to test this particular power supply on the monitor. So let's go there. So now that we're back in the studio, we're going to test our power supply, and I already put some tape on it. Going to hook it up. I'm really sure that some of you have expected that there is something will blow up, but I'm sorry, this is usually not that kind of channel. So remove that. Plug into the power to the monitor, and we have blue LED. Right, okay. So apparently we were able to fix our power supply with just under $2. So yeah, I mean, tell us what you think about that fix in the comments. Do you like it? Do you prefer to use gasoline to open your power supplies? Do you use knife like we did it? Do you have another method? I'm quite curious to see how you're doing that. And also make sure to hit the like button like somewhere around here, and do not forget to subscribe by pressing the button somewhere around here for any future videos. So yeah, for me that's a success, and let's see what we're going to have in the next video, shall we? Thank you.